Three, two, one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Amal, and joining me tonight, I have Andy, Mus, Carl, George, and the lovely Mars joining us tonight as a special guest from the Jumper Punch. Mars, how you doing?
Mate, brilliant after this week, and a very good year so far. What are we, 5-1 to start the year?
5-1. It is a brilliant start. I mean, if you haven't watched the last episode, we never doubted Carlton Football Club at all.
Nah, never do. Nah.
Ever. But it's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to have you on, Mars. Thank you so much for coming on. To the rest of the boys, welcome to Monday night. Welcome to the review of the Baggers going up against the GWS Giants in round 6 at Marvel Stadium. The Baggers got up 17-15, 117 against 15-8, 98. And what a win it was. We had a massive injury list. The doubters were out in force. I was with them, and we all got shut up. And it was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. We'll review the game, but before we get started, let's quickly go around the grounds and just see how everyone is doing. Andy, I'll throw it to you.
Good, man. Good. Life's good after a win. Life is always just easy. The birds are, chirping a bit nicer. The weather was gorgeous today. Tell you what, there wasn't a giant tsunami, which they promised us. So, I'm good, man. Good. Crazy day, but good day. Georgie?
Yeah, right. Yeah, like you said, the grass is greener, water tastes better, the air is fresher. Weekends are great, so always great kicking off the week with a win. And how good, man! That premiership quarter, as good as you'll see. We were just talking moments ago about how many times we watched the replay in different sobriety levels, Andy. But no, fantastic, Mars.
Well, you said the water always tastes sweeter. Well, a Pepsi Max with no sugar always tastes after a Carlton win. So, yes.
Shout out Pepsi, if you want to sponsor the Monday Blues.
Shout out if you want to sponsor, mate. Get on it, mate. Seriously, the best drink in the world. But no. It's Monday. Went into work, tail high, mate. No one can say anything to you when you win. They can't say anything, even if they're doubters. They can't. What are they going to say to you? And I go into work with a whole bunch of Collingwood supporters.
Ooh, dirty.
Rough.
Dirty.
I go in there with, like an Albanian. You know how they got the knife in the sleeve? Give the Albanian handshake. Yeah, sometimes usually the knife just, want to give them a little bit of ab state. But yeah, cuts a bit deep. So, yeah. But yeah, perfect way to start your week. And everyone hates a Monday, don't we?
Yeah. True.
Shout out to everyone in the comments. Mus, you've
drop
got a
the
couple.
Likes as well.
You got a couple people already. They're asking, Mus, please tell me you are happy today. From Justin. How are you today, bro?
Oh yeah, I was supposed to be on nights this week, boys. I was at work at 7:55 this morning. Just decided to rock up for doing day shift, just because I was that excited. The Collingwood supporters in the office, so disappointing because Collingwood and Essendon had wins, but it dampened our little victory a little bit. But hey, what can I say?
Be happy, bro. Just be happy.
Oh, look, definitely some positives to take away.
Some positive.
Move right along. Carl, how you going?
Carl, how you going?
Oh, I'm great. I've got no water or Pepsi, but I got a V. Doing well.
Original?
All the sugar.
It's a fake original. It hasn't got the red tick on it. Doing it hard. But I'm just going to say quickly that I've had the removalist take the couch off the centre of the ground for Pitto, and life's good. Life's real good.
Well, he
played well.
Pitto had that couch on Gumtree. It was up for sale earlier in the week.
Can we begin? Can we begin by apologising to Pitto? Look, it's one game. It's one game, right? But I don't know if he was listening to us and the other, million people who said he shouldn't be playing. But
we thrashed his life to Paul Blunt.
Oh, mate, I'll tell you what, he played with a bit of fire in his belly. So
before we get into our analysis of the game, Do you remember when he came in and it was him and TDK? What run we went on last year?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Just keep that in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
Hey, we could use that run again coming up with the next sort of 6 games that we've got coming up.
I know.
No one will beat us. No one. I told you boys last week, just chill.
We're unbeatable. We're unbeatable now. Back us for the flag.
Here we go.
For the flag. Have everything.
Going on back to Pitto, it was like that thing from MJ from The Last Dance, and I took that personally. Like, he was literally
exactly
I reckon he watched or read a bit about, does the 2-ruck system work, and what are we doing and whatnot, and he was sort of parked his couch in the middle of the ground. But credit to the guy, mate, he's roving his own taps, getting stuck in the packs, clunking. Hey, he clunked a few marks. Like, that's what you want from Pitto, right? Tackles, the tenacity.
What did he have? He had 17 disposals. He went at 76.5% disposal
25 hit-outs.
He had 13 contested possessions, 7 clearances.
That's a big game,
mate. Yep. It's kind of gone like, the whole game he was there. He's a big presence, and he allowed TDK to go forward and kick 3 goals, and he had a huge game as well. So, I think Pitto cops a bad rap as well.
I think we all know what he does. Sorry, Georgie, go.
Yeah.
No, I was just going to say the synergy between him, Cripps, Walsh, and Hewitt is fantastic. Like, just watching it, he just knows. Like, he knows that their movement, he knows where they're going to go. They read it well. Like,
that was the best I've seen us. That was the best I've seen us
in the middle.
Amazing. For a long time.
For a long time, yeah.
A long time. Like, I think it was 22-8 center clearances, something like that.
So 21-7.
21
center bounce
clearance.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
Crazy.
I think he had 9-1 hit outs to advantage Pitto as well. Wow. So which is massive.
And everyone's talking about Pitto's tap work, but TDK on the weekend.
Just brilliant.
Just beautiful tap work. And that's the best I've seen him tap the ball as well. So it worked in the middle. It just worked in the middle.
His forward craft was pretty good too, TDK. I mean, that's something we haven't seen. What he kicked 2 goals, 3 goals or something like that?
Three straight.
He had a ripper game up front as well. And that's I think that's the benefit in having Pitto on the side, right? We can go really tall in the forward line, and TDK is very, very athletic, right? He's a very, very athletic ruckman. So, hey, if this works, it works. It worked against a solid midfield in the Giants. It can work against any bloody team.
That's right. Let's not get carried away.
No, I'm getting carried away.
At the same time, though.
I'm getting carried away. There's no one that can beat us. No.
Carl's right.
I'm talking about Pittonet.
He's all right.
Carl's right, but both of them need to back it up, right? This is just one game, and it's very, very easy to get carried away. But can they back it up week on week?
Fucking oath they can.
Well,
they did it last year. Why can't they do it again?
Yeah.
And to be honest, because I know, so I've got a cousin of mine who's best mates with Pitto, and he went to school with him, and he was saying that last year he was getting his knee drained after every game. So in that run towards the end of the year, I think it was the last 6 or 7 weeks, he was getting his knee drained of fluid, and he was playing under a lot of pain and duress. I mean, we don't know that. Not many people know that, but yeah. So, and the efforts that he was giving and allowing TDK to go up forward as well, and and now you're seeing a fully fit Pitto. So, and you're just working back into it. You got to sometimes give these players a couple of games. Just let them get that match fitness back as well, and the know-how as well. I know it's they're football players and they should know, and it's a system-based game, but. I'm not saying don't lay off them. You know me, I'm the most pessimistic man. So so you got to give credit where credit.
You don't know.
I know.
So Mars, you're just saying like toward most of last year, sort of at the end of every game, he'd get his knee drained or something.
So those last 6 to 7 games, he was getting his knee drained. Yeah, he'd be after a game, his knee would just blow up.
Far out. Sounds like a drainer.
Yeah.
Kick him out, bro. Kick him out of here. What was that?
Brilliant.
Hey, all shit aside, though, did anybody notice that Pitto looked like he'd lost 10 kilos in the space of 5 days? was that just me?
No,
You said it, and as you said it, he got manhandled by Briggs. As you said it, he got pushed to the ground.
He's a big boy, Briggsy.
Yeah.
Boy.
Good call, Moose. He did look. I'm telling you, it's like he trained their house down during the week, and just thought, nah, I'm not copping it from everyone. This is
not
more
than the knee drain.
Shout out to everyone in the chat. There's just over 60 of you. Hit the like button, or if you haven't done already, jump in the chat. One from Catrick. Andy, you remind me of Mark Jacko Jackson's interview on Open Mic.
That's a very bad interview, bro.
That's a very controversial.
That's the cancer in the pinky finger.
Yeah,
in the finger.
Yeah.
Jeez, I wouldn't wish anything on that, man.
I love the passion, though.
Thanks, bud. Yeah, appreciate it.
We've talked about the, I guess the rucks. Let's take it back a step. Right before the game, how were we feeling?
I was more confident this week than last, quietly. But that doubt, like there was a doubt in my head. I thought, would our defense hold up? So before the game, that was my concern. Would our defense hold up? But I was still, I was all right.
I was confident all week. I did Moose's head in about it, I reckon.
Yeah, bad. He actually was.
I got a good feeling, man.
Didn't you have a dream that we'd win by 20?
21.
21.
Wasn't far off, yeah.
No.
You should dream more often, Carl. Please.
Mars, how are you and the boys feeling? Mars, you in the bay next to us, so we saw you before the game. You're feeling pretty good.
I said it'd be a draw, to be honest, because I couldn't split the sides. But I said to Joe, your brother George, I said to him that I don't think we'd lose the game. So if anything, we'd draw but win. You know what I mean? It's like when the horses they finish and they're going line to line, but you go, I don't think it lost. It was one of those games, and it was a ding dong battle for 2.5 quarters. It was like, and then they went out. But yeah, I wasn't as confident as Carl here, but far out. Yeah. Kudos to you, and keep dreaming. Like, was it a wet dream?
A bit of a sprinkle.
Anyway, next, nice image.
We'll have a one-on-one convo later, me and you.
Done. I'll take some tips.
Me, on the other hand, I was buckling, man. It was a game that I promised to take my son to. So my son was there as well, and I'm thinking to myself, fuck, is this really the best game to be taken? We've got 9 out of 22 out of our best 22 injured. Is this really the best game? And thankfully, we got the win. But it at no point in this first half, I would say, and jump in if you disagree, but at no point in the first half did I at any stage think that we were going to get over the line, because we were playing some pretty average footy, in my opinion.
Even the first?
Yeah. Across the second half overall. Across the first half overall, I didn't think we played average, a little below average footy compared to what the Giants were doing. It was that long bomb crap into our forward 50, and it got us nowhere. I thought.
You hate that, man.
Oh, I can't stand it.
See, I don't mind it. I don't mind it, bro.
Then,
we're scoring 30 times.
No. We scored most of our goals in the second half, and we scored it when you saw Harry coming up on the lead, when you saw TDK coming up on the lead, Kerner coming up on the lead. But in the first half, we weren't doing that. It was long bombs. It was into packs, and our small forwards were nowhere to be seen. They corrected that. Hey, they corrected that, and I loved seeing that correction. But do you guys disagree with that, or do you think there was did you see something different?
I don't know if any of you boys want to go in first, but just my first impressions of the first half were we couldn't contain GWS's short kicking game. And we saw that last week against Adelaide, where they just carved us up with those short little 20, 25 meter kicks, and they would get that little 45 directly inboard. And then they just open up the whole ground, and they have a plethora of options to go left or right. And then, when you got players like Whitfield, Callie, Tom Green, and with their footwork, mate, they look like they're never going to miss a target. And then they also nullified us going through the centre. So I thought that's why we were bombing it long down the line as well. Well, that's what I took away from it, the first half.
Do you think that's because of the zone defense approach that we go for? before it enters into our backline, or do you think that there's another? We're just not manning up close enough.
Well, a bit of that. Well, I mean, like when we get it from that 6-6-6, that's where we scored all of our goals. I think it was a record for like 10 years. We haven't scored over like 40. I think we scored 40 points. If I'm not wrong, correct me if I'm not wrong. I think we scored 40 points. So just the 6-6, so the ball going back to the center, which is massive, mate. If you can get 40 points from the center of the ground after a goal's been kicked, I mean, mate, you're going to win more often than not. But yeah, going back to your point, I don't know. I think they kind of outworked us for a little bit in that first half. And I mean, we did, it's a game of momentum now, isn't it? Like it's a system-based game. And once those big momentum shifts go one way, you have to absorb everything. You have to absorb all those punches. And they threw everything at us in that second quarter, I thought.
Yeah, I reckon. So for me, I thought we did really well in the first quarter. And like we were up by a couple goals and we looked good. We looked steady. To Mars's point, it's a momentum game. So they just took advantage of their 15 minutes. They had 15 minutes that they just all over us, right? The one thing I noticed was our forward pressure. So our tackles inside 50 were non-existent, I think, for the first half. I don't know the numbers, but at one stage, I think it was like 8-1. And it was like, man, like we can't win. And that's where we miss Fogarty, yeah? Like his tackle pressure and others follow him, right? That was the difference for me, our forward pressure. Apart from that 15 minutes where they were just all over us, I thought it was quite an even half. Bombing long, I mean, yeah, it looks better and we're probably having easier shots when we're hitting up targets, but bombing long, we still had more scoring shots than them at halftime. So, or almost on par. So, yeah, I'm not too far. When you got Curnow and Mackay, I'm not too fussed. But if we're doing that, our smalls need to be up and about. And when they're not up and about, you can notice it. Like it's very, very noticeable when they're not front and center. And me and Mus talk about this every week, about the smalls not being front and center. So it's amazing how when they are front and center, we score. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I took out of the first half. How about you boys, Mus?
Yeah. Tackles inside 50 on that. Tackles inside 50 across the game was 9-19 in GWS's favour.
Yeah, that's massive.
And our average for 2024 is 15.3 tackles a game.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's the Fogarty effect, I reckon.
Yeah.
Alone.
Well, he's ranked, or he was ranked number one in the comp forward 50 tackles, but obviously now he hasn't played a couple of games, probably dropped. But,
I didn't know he was ranked number one.
Yeah.
Mus?
I kind of sat between both, actually. I like the Miles sort of observation of the bombing long. I get that. And, 9 times out of 10, it does come off, but we put ourselves in a shit position, kicking it from outside 50 or whatever it might be.
That's right. Slow percentage.
Yeah. What I did sort of notice, and I say this every week, I think, Andy, you called it out many weeks ago, we mirror whatever the other team's doing. We come out in the third and we started to chop the midfield. We started to kick those 45-degree kicks and start moving the handballs, and probably at times we handball too much. But that's what got us back into the game. So it's kind of like we came out and go, all right, what are they doing? Let's try to do it ourselves. And then we sort of come out and went through the middle, link up handballs, and then we were hitting up guys 20 metres out directly in front. So I don't know. That was my observation.
I actually felt pretty good about it, and noting that, Curnow, I think 4 behinds in the first half, like we've been having a very different conversation if a couple of those converted. Then what I did like is that the blokes coming in, especially like young Lockie Cowan, it's like it's system over personnel. So the next man up is seemingly working very well, understanding that our defence took a massive hit over the last couple of weeks, and we're plugging some holes there, right? And going up against a very, very informed GWS forward line. So one thing that did piss me off in the first quarter, I got to admit, it pissed me off even more when I watched it on the replay. Jacob Ware, number 10 for GWS.
Yeah.
When he pushed Akers into incoming, Kemp was running at full tilt, and Kemp, he pushed Akers into. That could have been very nasty.
Yeah. Well, he got the cut. He got the cut on the back of his head because of that.
Well, had it have been any more momentum by Akers, I guess, or like Kemp's, because Kemp's, I think his boot clipped his head or whatnot. But like, had they been a bit closer and it was a body contact or head contact, like, mate, it was. Yeah,
which player was it?
Jacob where?
Right,
That'd
we're
be
labeling
number
him
10
dog now, yeah?
Yeah,
He's a dog now. That's it. Jacob Ware, whatever the fuck your name is, you're a dog.
He's knee high to a grasshopper anyway.
Little chihuahua. Carl, how did you feel in the first half?
Yeah, go. Yeah.
Sorry, man.
I don't know if it's just me. When you're at the game, you panic a bit. You know, you're stressing out what's happening. When you get home and you watch the game, it's like it's a completely different ball game. And I watched it. Probably watched it. I watched the first 2 quarters twice. We actually, like, back to what George said. If Curnow kicks those goals, or at least 2 of them, it's a different ball game. I think we outplayed them all 4 quarters, to be honest, but we just couldn't put it on the scoreboard.
Well, that's what I said. If we kick straight, we're going to win, right? And I mean, we didn't kick that straight, but we took our chances when they mattered, I felt. And we all know with Curnow, he just needs one. Curnow needs one. Yeah. And I said that to him. I was saying, bro, when he kicked his 3rd or 4th point, I'm like, he just needs one, bro. He gets 1, he'll get 2. He'll get 2, he'll get 3.
Hey, on Curnow, has he kicked a goal in the 1st or 2nd quarter any game this year? Or have they all been in the 3rd?
Yeah, I think he kicked one. He kicked one in round 1. I think he kicked one late in the 2nd
quarter, man.
Yeah, that's his quarter.
He loves it.
He's a bit of a diesel engine. It takes him 2 quarters to warm up, and then 3rd and 4th is when he pops off.
Well, he struggled to get into the game. He's been struggling.
Yeah. If you did look at that game, though, you know, people go, you kicked 0-4. Okay, 0-4. But if you got to look at the quality of the shots he's taking, I mean, like, you're taking, like, snaps on the left, you know, out of the stoppage. I mean, they're tough shots for the best of them. And I mean, there's only so few. Like, he can kick them. We know he can kick them. But more often than not, sometimes you're not going to kick those goals. And then you look at the other shots that we're taking. You're taking them from a tough angle, 45-degree out, you know, and on a 40 out as well.
Wheel and go from 60.
Yeah. You know, they're not that they're like low percentage, but they kind of are. You know, you look at their shots and they're all in front of goal, right in front. You know, they put a couple in from tough angles, but still.
That's what we do. We concede the easiest goals week in, week out. Like, we struggle sometimes to hit the scoreboard.
It's because we play such a high line.
We play high up the ground.
So when they get that one kick out, it's just like, oh shit. And you've got one-on-ones everywhere, and then just 2 kicks away from goal. And you look at it and go, why aren't we manning up? Why? It's because we try to strangle the opponent, keep the ball so high up the pitch is that, you know, if they hit you on the counter, you're kind of done. You know. So it looks bad at times, but that's the way we play. And you know,
I think we're happy.
It works.
Yeah, we're happy to concede like that, because if we just cop it, because we know, and I think we're content getting into a shootout if it gets to that. And why wouldn't you? Yeah, you got 2 of the best forwards in the league. Like, 2 when they're on, they're the 2 best forwards in the league. I mean, they're 2 common medalists, right? So why not get into a bit of a shootout?
And mate, we got some of the best elite defenders that there is in the game. You know what I mean? So and you're happy to leave Jacob Wiedering 1 out with somebody.
Yeah,
because you know, one-on-one he can beat his opponent more often than not. So it's like, you know, I understand when they start losing it, but you know, we were out without Saad. Williams went off at half time. Who else were we missing? I
took that as a positive, man. Sorry about that. But when Williams went off, I think we started playing well.
He had a lot. You know, up until half time, I think he had about 7 rebound 50s as well. So he was like leading on the ground. So
he was keeping Toby Green. He was keeping Green quiet as well, which is another positive.
And then Boyd went on to him.
Yeah, and Boyd killed it as well.
Smashed him. Yeah, smashed him.
We need to. I think we need to acknowledge Matty Kennedy, because he's been exceptional this entire season, right? And he's flown under the radar a bit, kind of like Matty Cottrell, right? Role player, but what he's able to do, and now in multiple positions. Yeah, he's not just a one position player. He went back and he killed it defensively, and he's done that all year. When he goes forward, he's an option. He's a target. When he plays mid, he does well. I think he's now becoming comfortable in his role in the team. and he's just like, put me anywhere, bro. I'm going to dominate. So shout out Matty Kennedy. He's just been, and I feel like he's been unsung as well by the supporter base, by the broad supporter base. It's so easy to get caught up 100%. With Cripps and Walsh and Harry and Charlie, but it's the Kennedys, it's the Cottrells, and fucking Ollie Hollands, right? These are the guys that'll win you a flag. They're the ones that'll win you a flag, right? So, I love
George Stewart. George Stewart in there as well,
George
man.
He had a as well, yeah, absolutely.
And he's not like the sexiest player on midfield that you're going to get, but he's the guy that allows Cripps and Walsh to do what they did, getting the contested footy, getting the hard. How often did Cripps run away from packs? You don't usually Cripps is the one taking the hit, getting the contested footy, getting the handball out, and relying on the chair of the Walsh, the runner. Cripps is running away from packs. This is
marking his own ball as well.
Yeah, how good was that?
That's fantastic. Kicks it up. Oh, just get your own goal.
He was on fire. Cripps was just.
Cripps was on one. Cripps was there.
Yeah. How did we feel? How did we feel halfway through the third? Before you guys answer, I said to Moose when we were 2 goals down, I said to Moose, we're not losing this, right? And then Josh Kelly kicked 2 in a row, right? And then I was like, did I jinx the boys? I didn't want to say them. Did I jinx it? Did I jinx it? And then we just went on, and then we kicked in. So how did you boys feel when we're 20 down in the third?
GG.
George?
I still felt like we hadn't we were in second gear or third gear, like we hadn't really put the foot on the pedal yet, right? Like I wholeheartedly felt like we just need a patch, and we know, we saw it at the Gab, Andy. Once you give us a patch, give us a run, and when we're in that form, when we're on whatever mode you want to call it, beast mode, Super Saiyan 3, whatever you want to call it, right? Like it's we're unstoppable, and you saw it in that patch, right? Like one call out I will give, Leah, man. He must have been feeling a bit filthy because he spent 5 minutes on the bench and his direct player Harry kicked 2 in that 5 minutes. So that kid's gonna be a player, man. And if he if he doesn't make an AFL, the bloke can become.
We lost Georgie, I think.
Say
that again, Georgie.
Yeah. Am I back?
Yeah.
I was going to say he's going to be a good footballer, but if he doesn't make it legally, he can become an Olympian high jumper. He's unbelievable.
I love how AFL showed that spoil. I love how they showed that spoil, but they didn't show the whole. They didn't show the whole clip because he spoiled it straight to Cottrell, I think it was. He kicked the goal.
But the leap on him is unreal.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Carl, how did you feel?
Vertical.
I don't know how I felt. It felt weird. Like even though I was confident all game, it was weird because, like I said before, you could almost say we were in it the whole time, but we just couldn't put it on the scoreboard until we managed to we kicked that one, and then it just piled on another 6 right after it. It was a matter of I think 7 minutes. We're in front by like 3-4 goals. We were just looking at each other like, what's going on?
Where did
here?
that come from?
Yeah, it was bizarre.
How good did the crowd sound?
Yeah.
When we got it, and this is why it's so important. This is why I emphasized that during the preview video. We are an extra player on that ground. Like as a fan base, 100%. When we're loud, we are loud. And I'll tell you when it mattered most. Not when we were kicking goals, but GWS had a shot on the siren at 3/4 time.
Brown.
Yeah.
Callum Brown. Yeah.
And the place was booing him. This bloke,
he
would have been absolutely shaking at the knees.
And he's a great kick usually.
And he is. And that's what we bring. That's what we bring. And that's why I feel like it's so important we continue to bring that environment from start to finish at all our home games. And if we can do it at away games too, amazing.
I actually got I spoke to Callum Brown and recorded the conversation. This is what he had to say after the game about the kick on.
I'm just upset about. Can't take it anymore. I'm just gonna cry.
Yeah, he was pretty upset.
Sounds emotional.
Yeah.
God bless his soul.
I'll tell you what though, like that was that was probably the first time in a long time I felt us like making Marvel a very hostile territory, right? Like, we bring it out in the big games, your Richmonds, your Collingwoods, whatnot, but that was like, if you have that, imagine every time they line up for a set shot and you hear that, right? It was intimidating. Like, you have obviously 40,500, and GWS had their honorary 17 members there or whatever in their cheer squad. But it was great. Good call.
Wasn't great when we're 2 goals down, but because everyone just
was quiet.
It was bad.
Yeah,
we did that bloke on the drum just to keep going all game.
Hey, that drum's so loud. So loud.
Amazing.
You could hear from the other side. Scotty Tompkins in the chat. My mates who went to gather round were shocked at how crazy the Blues supporters were. They said no one compared to us over the whole weekend.
We're sick, mate. We're gorillas.
Yeah. Best way to put it. We're gorillas.
We are, man. Like, there's no one better.
Shook us.
How'd you feel? We're 2 goals down.
Oh, I was ready to leave. No, I wasn't ready to leave. I'll tell you what. I kind of hoped that we'd sort of kick into. George, you said it perfectly. It kind of felt like we hadn't kicked into gear yet, but I didn't know if it was going to come or not, to be honest. But fuck, it came, and it was like, I said to turn around to who was Andy? I said to you, I said, 5 minutes of football. That's all we need. 5 minutes of actual football. When these guys click that switch, unstoppable. Unstoppable. It was like
click, brother.
It was unstoppable. Yeah, it was unreal.
A quick one before we pass to Mars for how him and the boys were feeling as well. Catrick in the chat. David Roden, ex-Broady boy. I was going to drive to Marvel to smash him. The dude smiles up to every GWS goal. We were talking about it at the game. Well, I was like, David Roden and Brad Johnson should have like a smile off because they just always smile.
Yeah, he did.
How happy was he?
Yeah. He's like,
I'm just happy to be on TV again.
Mars, how were you and the boys feeling?
So I was sitting with my brother, Rocco, his daughter, Taylor, and Dylan, his son, and I think not like we weren't shitting ourselves or anything. We were quite confident, I guess, because we hadn't hit, as you said, we hadn't hit top gear yet. And like when we play football, it's like a rock and roll concert. Once we get going, good luck. There is no stopping that momentum. It's like, when we first, I think it was Fremantle, they had all the momentum that game, but they couldn't fill the boots. They couldn't kick the goals to get away from us. So this game, you knew that we absorbed all the pressure that GWS gave to us. I mean, they got out to 22 points. I think it was twice. And we just kicked back. We found a way. We're like that horse, that war horse that just doesn't give up until the line, And when we got on a roll, it was just, and that crowd got involved. And we all know that, like, once the crowd gets involved with the boys, mate, it's a different energy. The place, like, that roof was about to explode. I don't know which goal it was. I think it was the second Kerno goal, whatever. It just erupted.
Is that when he marked and snapped?
Yeah. It just like it was a they just clicked. It was a double and it's like, oh my god!
I was still pissed off though.
There's no place in that.
Why did he play on?
Oh yeah, Moss was like, he played on again. He did it again.
Took his time, kicked the goal.
The other one that was impressive,
adrenaline, bro.
The other one that was really impressive was the long, high TDK goal. I can't remember if it was in the third or the fourth quarter, but as the ball was going towards the goal, it was still going up, and as the ball was going up, the crowds
riding it.
Yeah, literally, the crowd was getting louder and louder as the ball was getting higher and closer to the goal, and then it was like, it's like that was insane. I love going to Carlton games just for that, just for the crowd getting behind it. Every single emotion that the game produces, it's brilliant.
We had a lot of kids near us, right? And it was just great seeing the kids feed off that energy as well, because the kids, like a Miles boy and a friend of ours and their kids, they were just going off, and there were kids around. They were loving seeing 40,000 people just go nuts.
Yeah,
it was like an excuse for
them.
them.
The next generation, man.
Exactly.
They're the next gen.
Exactly.
And I always stress that. It's like, when are we going to turn good? Because if you don't turn good quick enough, you lose that generation, and they don't want to go for you anymore. So it's good, and you always should high five the kids and all that. You get them into the game. Yeah. It's good. They feel special. So it's good to see them. They're heroes. Hitting their straps finally.
Yeah, man. For
I think
sure.
three of my 6 years in high school were wooden spoon years. So like that's the direct polar opposite.
Musa and I,
Cruiser, and Murphy.
Musa and I were lucky because we spent primary school being great. We were a great team, yeah. And then I think we had the year of high school. We were all right, even Carl, yeah. And then just nothing. We were nothing.
You know what the highlight was? Coming back to Faulkner train station, the back, going to KFC, walking through.
KFC after the game.
Walk through.
Yeah.
That was the highlight.
Yeah. We didn't have many good times in our high school.
No. I think a win was anything less than a 10-goal loss. We'd go, that was pretty good, eh?
Yeah. I've said it. I've said it like here before, and Mars, I don't know if you know, but like when we had 3 or 4 win seasons, I bought the DVDs, bro. Like I had the Carlton Essendon round 3, 2007, 2008 one. I got the DVD when Fev kicked 7 or 8. I think 2008. Look at the DVD. Yeah.
You see, he took the mark, falling back on his.
Doing it hard.
Yeah.
That's when
doing it hard. I think the Wizard Cup DVD's there somewhere when Prendergast was it? I still got that somewhere.
There was 55,000 gorillas.
Was that the one? Nick Stevens didn't go to his brother's wedding on that day to play the game
for a Wizard Cup game.
Lucky we won, man. We were in the shit, man.
Hey,
we got like $1 million off that.
Yeah. That was big for the club. Yeah, it probably saved the club.
Oh, yeah, it probably did.
Oh man.
Can I want to actually say something. Sorry, Emma. Nick Newman.
Ooh.
Can I run through his game?
Do it
just quickly.
Absolutely.
All right. 26 disposals, 15 kicks, 11 handballs, 13 effective kicks. So he went at nearly 87% by foot. Nearly 500 meters gained, 3 inside 50s, 5 rebound 50s, 8 contested possessions, 2 center clearances, 2 stoppage clearances, 15 pressure acts, and 12 defensive half pressure acts. And I just want to big him up. I mean, people do big him up. Again, like the Kennedy, I feel like he's underappreciated by our fan base.
Not on this podcast.
We love him. I actually backed him for BOG.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. Yeah, the broader fan base does seem to. Yeah.
If you watched him last week as well, his intercept possessions as well, puts his body on the line every single week. It's just. And his kick is brilliant as well, just as good as Boyd's, if anything.
I think he had
so
3 much
assists as well.
He's matured so much since he first came over. But even his discipline, he was quite undisciplined when he came over. He'd always give away a few free kicks a game, and he'd crack the shits, give away a 50 here and there. But his maturity has, and I don't know if it's the Voss effect, because Voss does bring that presence, that larger than life presence. So you listen to Voss. Yep. But what we've seen from Newey has been amazing. And these are the players that'll win you a flag. Yeah. This is what I mean. And you don't get wins like you do on the weekend if those players don't play well. So absolutely great call out, Mars.
Yeah.
Cottrell as well. As well. I think from his what did he have? 13 or 14 possessions. I think out of that, he had 8 scoring involvements.
8 or 9 scoring involvements.
Ridiculous.
Huge.
Ridiculous.
He gets the ball in great positions, and he makes
knows what to do
good things happen.
And he's nearly good for a goal a week as well.
Yeah. And he's always in the right positions as well. Every single time in the link up, in the play, he's always there.
And he takes his chances. Yeah.
Brilliant. Another player, quick mention. I doubted him. I doubted his selection coming into this game, but Lockie Cowan. Great game.
Oh, mate. Brilliant game from him.
Great game.
Tough unit.
Pity.
His toughness is like no one else on the ground. I reckon he's as tough as they come. And I think he mentioned it on when he caught up with Carlton, whatever the Carlton journalists are called. But he mentioned that he was quite nervous before the game, but he needed that one hit or that one tackle to sort of get the nerves out of the system. And then you could just see him diving head into packs, head first. It's brilliant. I called it. I think the week before, he was probably the only one that looked ready to play AFL.
Yeah,
from the VFL side.
Yeah.
And he showed that. He proved that. I would be upset if he didn't get the call up again this week.
No, I think he stays in.
He has to stay.
Well, it depends. Yeah, depends who
gone.
comes in. Yeah,
but I don't think Williams comes out anyway. You think?
Yeah.
Any news on his injury?
I think he copped a knock to his Achilles.
They said a week or two, but he should be back by next year.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Did you see when Toby Green, like obviously you want to call it a shirt front, whatever you want to do, he hit Boyd in the air and Cowan just went straight in.
Straight in.
The first one there.
You know?
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's the highlight for me of apart from like, you know, the actual game, that was a highlight for me, man. Just seeing Cowan go in.
And that's just seeing Voss down, you know, from the top down, Brian Cook, Sayers, then Voss, and then they're just instilled they're knowing how, like, it's next man up mentality. And then, you know, we're in for each other. Everyone will be counted, you know. There's some players that don't go in. Like, no young kid will just go in and, you know, they'll be scared of giving away a 50-metre penalty or a free kick against. But went in, bang, stuck up for his mate. Good. Love it. Love to see that.
He's tough like Nick Dacos.
Pitter patter. Well, he's a pitter patter like this, and he fucking
box of Kleenex.
How did we be feeling when we were 30 up in the last? And because I was wrapped, I actually said to George's brother, I said, "Fuck, I wish this was happening in the last. I hope we can, you know, roll on." And we did, yeah. We kicked 2 goals, and I thought, sweet. I was hoping to put the foot down a bit, missed a few, and it went the other way. But I felt like it was a very mature quarter. I felt we didn't need to go crazy. We had a good lead. GWS were pressing in the last, 7-8 minutes. So I just thought we were very mature the way we handled their pressure in the end. We could have won by a goal, really. We've done it before. But I thought we held up quite well. I feel like the leaders on the ground were pointing and they were coaching while they were out on the ground. And I just thought it was a really, really mature final quarter. How did you boys feel?
In the past, I feel like if we're down by 5 or 6 in the last quarter, we'll end up clawing back 4 or 5 of those goals and lose by a goal. And if we're winning by a similar margin, right, 5 or 6 goals, we'll lose that lead. Or get close to losing the game by the end of it. So I think definitely there's signs of maturity there with the last season and a half or so that we've had under Voss. Definitely have improved in that regard. 100%. Couldn't agree more, Andy.
I think it's sorry, Carl. I was going to really quickly say it's a maturity from last week, right? Like we learned a lot from last week. We're in that position where 16 points up,
even dropped the mark in the same spot.
To close out the game. So, but Carl, you go.
Yeah, just the same. I'm going to say from last year, it's carried on the maturity. But I was going to say, we'll save it till later.
What was that, bro? No, you got to say it now.
No, we'll save it till later.
Don't forget. Go on to Mars. How are you and the boys feeling? But before we've got a lot of people in the chat. Just 80 of you guys hit the like button. A lot of mutual people that tune in to the Jumper Punch Tuesday 7:30.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Sorry, 7 o'clock on Tuesdays. Do tune in. It's an absolute great laugh for the boys there. If you haven't subscribed, get around them as well. So
it's a marathon.
How are you and the boys feeling?
Once we hit the lead, I was pretty confident that we wouldn't lose the game, to be honest. I mean, like as I said before, we'd absorb all their punches, and then once we got to 25, it was that 5-goal lead. It was, to be honest, it was game over. Everyone knew on the ground. I felt it was game over. Like, you're not coming back from 30 down. Like, I mean, they put 20 on us twice in that game. And then to wrestle the momentum back and to win the game would be way too hard for them. You exert too much energy to try and chase that down in the last quarter. And they gave everything they gave. So I thought it was our best performance of the year, probably nearest to complete performance, to be honest.
Yep.
It's probably our best performance since, I'd say obviously the Melbourne game. But yeah, I thought they were just brilliant. They gave everything. They were tough. They were hard and they were like rugged. They were gutsy. They found the way to put them to the sword.
You see the difference, boys, once we actually get the ball out of the midfield and once we win that contested ball and win the centre clearances. That was the difference, really.
Batman
We're
and Robin.
finding different ways to win. So all year we've won through transition. And all of a sudden, and our clearance game was, for the tip. But it's almost by design, right? It's almost like we can still do this when we want to. And we found at the start of the year, right? We were talking about Pitto. And I remember saying that it's horses for courses. Yeah, we won't play him every week, but it'll be horses for courses. And this is a game we needed to win by clearance. And the fact that we can just turn it on, that is a great weapon to have in the arsenal.
Yeah.
Right. So, man, if we get this right, we're going to be hard to beat.
Yeah.
Well, Pitto is a big factor in that. He's winning that clearance because he acts as that fourth midfielder on the floor. I mean, you look at him and Briggs in the game, and you thought Pitto was another midfielder. He completely nullified Briggs, and then when you got Walsh, I mean, we haven't even mentioned Walsh yet. Like his game, mate, legit, he's a monster. Like fucking everywhere. Like he had I think it was something like 17 score involvements. He had a shot on goal. What he had 30. Yeah, like he was everywhere, and that's what he does. I mean, you put in Chera into that midfield as well, and you got Hewitt and Cripps, and then you got Chera and Walshy. I mean, you don't want Chera getting the contested ball. He can get it and he can tackle, but you want him finishing the work of. Yeah, you want him finishing the work of the Cripps and the Kennedys and the Hewitts. You want him delivering it to the forwards, and if we do that, mate,
forget about it.
The sky's the limit, mate. Good luck.
Yeah.
I'm getting geared up. Thanks, Martin.
Just a quick one.
Yeah,
sorry, Mars. Just a quick one. It's my Uncle Sam in the comments. Mus.
Yeah, here we go.
Hey, Mus, don't look so serious. Smile a bit. We did win on the weekend. So shout out to my Uncle Sam, who tunes in every week. Loves Mus.
Shout out to Cookley as well. Nice to meet you both before the game.
Absolutely. Absolute pleasure.
But Walsh, sorry, email you go.
Yeah, Ryan Laidlaw as well. Boys, I told you last week I took my wife, who was the curse for many years of torment. This time I told her she must stay home or go shopping. I took my eldest daughter instead. Up to the baggers, we got the win.
On ya, Ryan. So George isn't allowed to drink during the games, and Ryan's missus cannot be in the vicinity of any ground we play at.
Illegal.
Done.
Within 10 kilometers.
Add that to the list.
We'll need to just check that before each and every game.
Yeah.
Hey, do you reckon any other supporters stress like we do?
100%.
We could be up by 50 for 5 minutes to play.
Carl, this is what I said. This is what I said to you last week. Our supporter base is so heightened, right? We're like, things are either amazing or we're for the tip. We're done. That's it. Season over. Right? We're scarred.
We just get scarred easy.
We are scarred, right? We've been through hell as Carlton supporters. How good is this ride? How good is this ride going to be when we, God willing, when we see some silverware?
Let's pull out the spoons.
Oh, no.
Crazy.
Can I go through the players that we're missing?
Yeah.
Yep.
At this present time. So at this present time, we know that we're going to be missing Zach Williams for next week, but we've got no Jack Martin. Obviously, Doherty is out for the year. Chera, Sard, Silvani out for the year. Caleb Marchbank, made out of paper mache. No Lockie Fogarty. No David Cunningham. No Jesse Motlop. No Mitch McGovern, mate. And to win against basically a fully strength without Sam Taylor and Cornelio. But, you take all those players out and, at least 6 of those players, if you get into a grand final on that day, they're all starting.
Yep. And they were premiership favourites.
Yeah.
100%. So,
Who do you think we missed the most out of those?
Fogarty. For me, Fogarty.
Even McGovern as well.
Jack Martin, we look so much better with Jack
Martin and Motlop. Well. They're the key.
Yeah. You need Motlop as well.
He's been
a question.
He hasn't played since the final series. I've completely forgotten how he plays.
If Motlop comes in, so your boy Fantasy is coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, mate, straight away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And probably Durden if Fogarty is ready to come back.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought Durden had a good game, though.
Durden had a ripper game.
I think he had a good game, but
he got in a couple of good moments. So I wouldn't say ripper. His stats were nothing to write home about.
It was a pretty good game.
Well, by his standards, he had a ripper game.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
2 goals, 1 on the lead. He took 1 mark on the lead.
How many touches did he have, Amal?
Pack mark. He had 6 or 7. Let me check.
Well, he doesn't get much of the ball.
Touches, yeah.
But he done. There's a bit of body work he done in the contest, which was good. But again, like Mars said, by his standards, mate, Dirds getting 2 or 3 goals is a sick. If Dirds gets 2 or 3 goals, we're winning the game.
Yeah,
right. Like put it that way. At the end of the day, so
But then Motlop comes in and takes that spot. Sorry, Mars. If Motlop comes in and takes that spot, if he doesn't kick 2 or 3 a game, you're dropping him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I'd rather Motlop purely based on the excitement he brings to the team as well. Like he G's them up, he G's the teammates up, loves a goal, loves a tackle, loves a hard ball. You know, so
if you go, Sorry,
No.
Andy. If you go back to that Melbourne game, the last game last year in the final, is like, mate, look at the 2 goals he kicked. In
Especially
pressure
the last
moment,
one,
mate, those 2, mate. Is Durden doing that? No, but I'm being serious. Is he?
No, I'm with you.
Under that pressure, under that pressure, I don't think he doesn't have that. And it's you can't teach that. That's know-how. It's the ability around goal. It's in you. You either have it or you don't. I think. Look, Durden. I think he should craft his game around Papley. To be honest, he should go watch some videos of him and just try and model his game off him. Obviously, he'll never probably be at that Papley standard, but because I had a look at his game, Durden. All right, he had 4 shots on goal, 2 goals too. You got 5 pressure acts. From a small forward, you want more than that. And I think he had 2 tackles. He had 2 tackles as well. So, look, he hit the scoreboard, which is what you wanted to do. But on the flip side, defensive end, he's a bit disconnected from the tall forwards. That's all I think.
Yep.
But and I thought our forward structure on the weekend was brilliant though, with the 3-prong attack with the 3 big boys. They spaced
TDK,
well.
man.
Yeah,
TDK
really
was not only did he step in and did 3 goals, kick 3 goals, he was the ultimate decoy as well.
100%.
Like he man, you got those 3. Who are you going to pick up? Who are you going to pick up? You're going to pick up Charlie? You're going to pick up Harry? Or are you going to pick up TDK? But one of them, not many teams have 3 big defenders.
No.
So
not many have 1. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Well, this is the question for July. We'll talk about it, of course, in the preview. But obviously, Stewart out, concussion. He'll miss. So I imagine we persist with the 2-ruck approach and allow TDK to stretch him a bit because we've seen that it works.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good problems to have.
Exactly, and a big game coming up against Geelong. A good win as well. Let's get on with our votes. 1 vote, 2 votes, 3 votes. For those watching along, chuck your votes in the chat, and we'll go through them as we get through the boys here. George, I'll throw it to you first.
I was tossing up between TDK or Pitto for the one because I was really impressed with Pitto's game, but I will give it to TDK. The way he hit the scoreboard was fantastic. 3 goals. I think he'd only kicked 1 or 2 prior to this game from memory for the season. So for him to hit the scoreboard the way he did, took his chances. He even was front and center for one of them, the one that went sky high. How good? Like, how good, right? Like, the guy's, 24 now, I think. He's coming into his prime. We know his talent. He's I think he's stopped trying to take mark of the year every quarter now, and he's hitting the scoreboard. So it's nice. My 2 will go to Walsh. We spoke about 17 score involvements. His calm and coolness under pressure, the pivot, the turns, the way to spot. There was that beautiful pivot turn spot of Durden. I think he got Harry with one of them. Like he's inside 50s, and we've missed that a lot. So I can't wait for him to be in tandem with a full midfield. But he was unbelievable. Like, you know, two weeks in a row to have, you know, just bring your own footy to the ground and have your way with the opposition. And Skip. There was a funny comment on Instagram. Someone commented on Carlton's post. It was bloody great. Carlton put up a post saying "sum this man up in 3 words" or something up in 3 words or whatever. This guy used more words, but it was pretty funny. He's like, creates life 1 week, takes 18 the next, or something like that. It was a great comment. But man, how good! I think it was 13 or 14 clearances. He's contested possession beast. Cripps running away from packs is beautiful. It's a delight to see. Would have loved him to get on the scoreboard. I just needed him to get one. A multi would have gone up, got enough, but gamble responsibly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, it was as good as a performance as you could ask from the guy. So yeah, it was everyone rose to the occasion, and it was a team effort. But his game was just extra special. So
Nazi, 1 vote to Pitto, 2 votes to Walsh, and 3 to Cripps. Sam Mansour, 1 to Pitto, 2 to Walsh, 3 to Cripps. Monique, 1 to TDK, 2 to Cripps, and 3 to Walsh. Carl.
Probably fair to say all our votes are going to be similar, if not the same. One you could have gone to. I'm going to give it to Pittonet. Obviously, he needed this game. Tom de Koning, stiff. Kennedy as well could have also got the one. But Pittonet, ruck work, tackling, kicking, everything. He was doing everything. Probably the best game I've seen him play personally. 2 votes to obviously Walsh. Second game back from injury and doing what he's doing it's scary, honestly. And 3 to Captain Cripper for all the reasons George said.
Oz, 1 to TDK, 2 to Cripps, 3 to Walsh. Attridge, 1 to TDK, 2 to Walsh, and 3 to Cripps. And Nicholas Agius, 1 to TDK, 2 to Walsh, and 3 to Cripps. Andy.
Yeah, mine are the same as Nicholas. I'll give 1 to TDK for being able to play, 2 really key roles for us over the weekend. Invaluable. To be able to have a ruckman like him in our side, and this is why it was so important for us to sign him and not let him go. In the past, we let players like that go. So what he's able to do, he's not your normal ruckman. And it's players like that are so valuable. So you keep them at your club. And I hope when his contract's up next, which I think is next year, possibly. I think he only signed 2 years, yeah?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Well, give him 10. Give him whatever he wants, mate. Just give him, yeah. Look, I'm going to give Walshy 2. It's unlucky. It's a 3 on any other game. But, yeah, Walshy gets my 2. This bloke wasn't able to walk a month ago, apparently, right? And he's coming in, and he is the standard, right? For every single player on our list, Sam Walsh is the training standard, the playing standard, the rehab standard. Whatever he does, you do. And 3 to Cripper, my captain. Just what can you say about Cripper that hasn't already been said? He's just leading by example. And I don't believe that anybody deserves anything in life. But if anybody deserves anything, Cripper deserves a fucking premiership, bro. So that's me.
And just quietly, he's creeping up the Brownlow. Him and I know Heaney's having a sensational year, but yeah, Cripps he's building a very fine season.
And you know what, bro? That's
probably
great.
On nearly 10.
That's awesome. But we're done with individual awards.
Yeah.
I want a premiership, bro.
Yep.
Like if he wins it and we win the premiership, but I want a flag, bro. I want a tattoo.
Dusty levels.
That's what I want. I want a tattoo, bro.
I want a tattoo.
In. I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll come
hold your hands.
Ryan Laidlaw has split his 1 vote between Pitto and TDK, 2 to Walsh and 3 to Cripps. A very similar story.
Lost the Mal. Moose, do you want to go?
Yeah, Mal.
Yeah.
A grin.
Just got him smiling. I can't even do this.
Just
Tell you what,
creepy grin.
it's a tough week to do votes, especially when we win like that. It's very difficult. Like for me, Newman misses out. Unfortunately, Kennedy misses out, and Hewitt misses out. Fantastic games. Another player that misses out, one of my favourites, is old mate Harry Mackay. He probably could have snuck in for a cheeky one, but
Stop. So Mars, I don't know if you know, but Moose has been Harry's biggest critic, right?
I know, he just gives a slate to him.
I'm gonna give you an opportunity here, Moose. What did you say to me quietly, very, very quietly, mind you, as we were walking out of Marvel?
I actually don't remember.
No, of course you don't. Let me refresh your mind, Moose. Let me refresh your memory.
Yeah, right.
Moose out of nowhere just goes, "Fuck, Harry's a gun, bro."
You reckon?
Hey, look, you know what? If it wasn't for the first half of Mr. 5 Gamer Take a Leak Aaliyah, he probably would have got the one vote. But anyway, we'll move on to my vote, shall we? I'm going to give one vote to. I want to give it to Pitternet just because of how much. I'm going to give it to Pitternet. I have to give it to Pitternet. How much shit we gave him. So Pitternet gets one. Fantastic game. He's doing everything. Well, he did everything that what we've asked. For the last whatever it's been. Tap work around the ground, and he was roving as well. It's going to be hard to split between Walshy and Cripper. I'm going to give 2 to Walsh, and Father of the Year, Patrick Cripps, gets a 3. You guys have mentioned everything they've done, but can I just say Patrick Cripps becoming a father has I don't know what it's done. Like he's got something special sitting on a fridge or something, magnet or whatever it is, but phenomenal. Yeah.
Maybe it's giving him a perspective of life, to be honest.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Hey, fair point. Fair point. And I don't know if Georgie brought it up a few weeks ago. I could be wrong. I don't know. I heard it somewhere, and I'm assuming it's you, Georgie. But someone said that having a child might have just put footy in perspective.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's taking it.
Absolutely.
So it's a game now, yeah? So go out, have your fun, and
it's kind of like he had the world on his shoulders with the Carlton Football Club, carrying it for so long, and then all of a sudden, the surroundings have come good. The system is working. The foundations around are there. The support mechanism's definitely there. And all of a sudden, he's had a kid, and as a father, I know myself, sort of you look at things a little bit differently. So it's freed him up, absolutely.
Mars,
shout out to
amazing.
Just quickly before we go to Mars, a great comment from Catrick. Cripper's probably already teaching the newborn how to contest the breast milk.
That's great.
I love it.
That's great.
Great goal. Great goal.
That's brilliant.
He's got some good lines. He's always in the chat. Big up, Catrick. I went one, as I said before. I thought he had a fantastic game. Filling in the shoes.
Who was that, bro? Sorry, bro. We missed you for a sec.
Nick Newman.
Yeah.
I thought he had a fantastic game, filling in the shoes for Sard, McGovern, and probably stepped into Williams' role as well. I gave 2 to Patrick Cripps. I thought brilliant game. Yeah, I thought he was the facilitator for the next guy, but he's 24 contested possessions, like a beast, like a monster down low, like tackling all day. I mean, how many tackles did he have? Sorry, I think he had 7 tackles as well.
I think he had our most tackles, yeah.
Yeah, it was a low tackle game from Carlton. I mean, you don't expect that. But yeah, and then he had 16 uncontested as well, 3 turnovers, which is very low. 2 intercept possessions, 11 score involvements as well. So yeah, he was massive. But I gave my 3 to the Terminator. Second game back, he's had combined nearly 70 disposals across 2 games. He just runs all day. He's a machine. He's what you want Cripps to be with. Him coming out of the front of packs, delivering it, and now his kicking has elevated. I think that was his knock coming into the AFL system, is that his kicking let him down a little bit at times. You saw that in the first year, maybe the second year, but mate, his kicking now. I think he had 3 goal assists, 17 score involvements, at 511 meters gained, 6 clearances himself, inside 50s 8. I mean, mate, there is look, you can't split them, to be honest. If I could give you, 2.5 to each or 3 to each, I would. But, mate, if you get Chera into this midfield, I'm telling you now, good luck. Watch out. Because GWS midfield is probably the best at the moment, with their 3-prong. But, mate, if not, we're just better than them as well. So, hats off to Cripps and Walsh. I thought they were fantastic, amazing all day. So, and Kennedy as well. Special mention to him.
And Ollie Hollands awesome for me.
Oh, how's it? I call him the blue healer. He just runs up and down all day.
Non-stop.
Selflessness is it's untapped. You can't teach that. You cannot teach that. There was one part of as a play in the last quarter where he was down at half back and he just sprinted up forward, and I think he laid a tackle and it went out of bounds, and just to create a stoppage, his mental will, mate. He trains like he plays. I've seen him train, and exactly the same way he plays is how he trains.
You gotta love that.
He is. Yeah, he's
and
unbelievable.
Shout out to his brother too, Elijah. Gets his hands on the ball quite a bit, and he gets himself in the right spot. And once he matures a bit, once he works into his actual game, that's another weapon we've got. Yeah, and he's already proving his value to us.
What's his kick for 5 goals so far?
Yeah.
He's not scared to get dirty.
No, he's not.
No. Another avenue to goal, which is what you always need.
Yep.
So, he's and after coming back from what he came back, you can cop it. You're a lesser you're not a star. The stars get protected. And if you're like a lesser player, I call shit. But you're always gonna get outed. Like Joel Smith from Melbourne. Like, who are these players?
Yeah.
So, he cops all the crap. And to come back and just slot straight in perfectly, seamlessly, mate, hats off to him. And if he keeps going like that, that's his spot. So, good luck to be honest, good luck to Jack Martin getting back in and taking that spot off him.
Yeah.
So,
onto what you said, how he just slotted right in, that's a credit to the coaching staff.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
The system is working.
Yeah.
Right? So if we're gonna give the coaching staff, shit for what we thought were bad inclusions in that, we got to give them the props as well. So props to them. Amal, your votes?
Great.
I won't take too long just because my internet is cooking it. But 1 to TDK, 2 to Cripps, and 3 to Walsh. So not too different to everyone else's. Hey, Mars, big thank you to you for jumping
thank you
on.
for having me on.
It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm sure I personally would love to have you on friggin' every week. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, you fit right in, bro. Like Elijah Hollands.
What can I say? I've got no hair and I shaved my beard. So
you just got to do something about the beard, mate.
No, I had it. I did have it, but I shaved it tonight. I was looking dirty, man. I was looking dirty.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
all your beards are well kept. You got the oil in there and everything. So, well done. And I'm sure we'll have, on the Jumper Punch, we'll get a couple of you boys back on as well throughout the year or whatever. So
shout out again to the Jumper Punch boys tomorrow, 7 p.m.
Get around them.
YouTube.
Absolutely.
Get around them.
Absolutely. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure that you do. Gents, it has been an absolute pleasure. We've got a big game coming up this week against the Cats at the MCG, which I think is at the same time again this week, 4:35. 4:35 at the G. For those
easy money boys this week.
For those, go and bring your voice. Bring your voice. Make sure that you are the extra player in the crowd for the Baggers this week. It's a massive game. But I think we've proven that we can get it done against the big teams. We match them and we go better. Until the preview, gentlemen, it is sayonara from the Monday Blues. Thanks, gents.
Good one, guys.
Go Blues.